Shade in the garden can be a problem or an opportunity. This is the Front Range Gardener, and I'll take you on a tour of my shade garden, and you may get some ideas of plants that will grow great for you. Here in Colorado, I garden in USDA Hardiness Zone 5. So if you garden in a similar cold climate, these plants may work for you. Let me show you shrubs, perennials, and annuals that will do well in a cold shade garden. The first plant I have to show you is this handsome Oregon grape. This is an evergreen shrub even in our cold climates. It's a remarkably versatile shrub. It can tolerate many levels of light. It is deer and rabbit resistant. Are there any downsides to this handsome shrub? Well, it does spread a bit on its own and it can overgrow an area. I find it's a little hard to establish with late fall planting, so if you can establish a plant earlier in the season, it will do a lot better. And here's an idea from a neighbor's garden. Creeping Oregon grape is actually a Colorado native, and it looks great if you want a less formal, more wildland look in your garden. One of my favorite shade plants to garden with is the Hosta. This is a beautiful plant available in a wide variety of colors with variegated leaves or solid leaves. However, there are some downsides to this handsome shrub. It is vulnerable to hail damage, and once the leaves are damaged by hail, they will not look good again in that growing season. Another problem with Hosta is that rabbits love hostas. Deer love hostas. But a fantastic benefit of hostas is that you can divide your hostas and get more plants, and you can divide them year after year to fill in your shade garden. Next plant that I'd like to show you are these coral bells. Coral bells are available in a wide variety of colors and different patterns. Coral bells make a beautiful combination with hostas in the garden. Coral bells are technically evergreen, but the winter leaves will leave you a little disappointed if you're looking for a beautiful winter landscape. They are susceptible to a little bit of rabbit and deer damage, but not nearly as bad as hostas. And also, like hostas, these are easily divided to fill in the garden. Indeed, all of these Peter Pan coral bells, this light green color, came from 3 original plants. This Jack Frost brunnera is a wonderful addition to the landscape. In early spring, the brunnera has beautiful blue flowers, also sometimes referred to as Siberian bugloss. They seem to be more deer and rabbit resistant than some of the other plants in the landscape. This grouping, I'm going to have to divide this fall and spread it out a little more. A cautionary tale with this next plant, which has the unfortunate name of dead nettle. This plant spreads widely throughout the shade garden. Indeed, all of the dead nettle in my yard came from a single 4-inch pot. So be very careful if you decide to plant dead nettle. One of the things that I like to consider when planting any garden is a sequence of flowering. And so this English primrose doesn't look very impressive in mid-July, but in early spring it pops forth from the frozen ground and will give you some of the earliest flowers of any perennial plant in your garden. This is also an easy plant to divide so that you can spread primrose throughout your garden. And if you're looking for a spreading ground cover, this Auga is a wonderful choice. It will pop up with small flower stalks in about May-June time frame, and it spreads throughout the garden, and it gives just an extra little pop on the ground cover. Let me take a moment to interrupt this tour and invite all of my viewers to comment below in case you have some fabulous plants that you like to grow in the shade. And if you like growing shade plants, then give this video a big thumbs up. The next category of plants that I want to talk about are non-hardy perennials, or perennials that will not survive the winter months in a cold climate like Colorado. I would love to take credit for this beautiful arrangement out front near our fountain, but it's actually Mrs. Front Range Gardener who has put this together. She has a particular talent for growing begonias, and they look great in these pots. Combined with trailing plants like vinca and creeping jenny, they make a great display. Also mixed into these pots are ferns and coleus, which has really grown more as an annual in our climate. And here is another fabulous coleus. This pot features angel wing begonias as well as trailing vinca. But also in this pot we have some actual annuals, in this case impatiens. Now impatiens are kind of one of the most widely planted annuals for shade, and with good reason. They do look fabulous in shade and give bright flowers all summer long. Another option is a more garden variety of begonia, which I don't have any examples of. And in the middle is a rush plant. Looking great. Good job, Mrs. Front Range Gardener. If you're ready to get started with your shade garden, check out my video on dividing hostas here and creeping Oregon grape here. Grow shade garden plants and you will have happy gardening.